I guess, okay, let's do it. Let's rock. You guys know we do Freaky Friday and we also do Sexy Saturday until April. Okay, then we have another juicy surprise for you in April. But for now, we're doing Sexy Saturday. And tonight's topic is something we've probably all done. We've probably all done this, okay? We went and had some sexual relations with an ex, knowing damn well we left them for a reason. And this is not gender specific. Men do this, women do this. I have a stat that's interesting in case you want to know who does it more, men or women. You're going to find out tonight who goes back to their ex more often and why. We're going to talk about it tonight. So, can the good make you go back to a bad place, meaning a toxic relationship? All right, guys, you already know I am On the Block with Jen, YouTube and your favorite devil's advocate, Jen. Don't forget On the Block with Jen on all social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, On the Block with Jen at Gmail. If you want to contact me about some business, throw it in there, or what topic or whatever topic you want to suggest, throw it in there. That's our suggestion box, On the Block with Jen at Gmail. If you want to support the show, thank you for all the cash apps that I got overnight. By the way, I really appreciate you guys so much. You guys know that you can throw gifts in the cash app with discretion. I say with discretion because a lot of people don't like doing the super chat and putting themselves and their wallet on blast, so they cash at me. So thank you if you're catching the replay and you're like, let me throw Shorty a cash app for the show because you appreciate the talent that I bring you guys up here all week long. So that's Cash App. Thank you for the Cash Apps. I told you guys before, I don't blast people that Cash App me unless you want me to. If you want to, let people know that you are sponsoring the show and supporting the show, throw the Cash App, throw a little note in there and say it's okay. If not, then I will keep your business our business, okay? A lot of people just don't know. Some people don't give a rat's damn, and they'll super chat me all night like, I don't give a fuck where you see my money going. It's my fucking money. What you gonna do about it? So if that's the case, by all means, super chat, $, bottom right box on the right, okay? That's how you say it with your chest. Everybody is welcome tonight to discuss this topic. It's a really, really interesting, sexy topic and also toxic, okay? So if you want to come up and give us your love war stories, by all means, come on up here. But you guys know we don't do the avatars up here. You got to show your face. Also, yesterday, we had some people cam up and they kept leaving over and over and over again and throwing up their avatar. I'm not a fan of that. If you feel like it's not a good night for you to show your face all night, don't come up here, okay? Because the block likes faces. So if you have to leave a lot, don't come up, stay in the chat. Respectfully, we love you all. We love all your opinions, but I need faces because I am producing a show. So I cannot talk to avatars unless you are Tristan. With that said, I do know you have to go run to the bathroom. You have to grab a call. You may have to go get a snack. Great. But if you come up, if you constantly have to throw your avatar up, I'd rather you not be here, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, gracias. This is a show. People come here to see us talk and debate and things like that. So I want to make sure we're giving the people a show. Thank you so much for holding me down, chat. You always do every single night. You've been on and popping, so I appreciate you guys. And without another further, let's bring up the queen of On the Block with Jen, Lily from YB Limited, who you better be following. Hi, mama.
All right.
Are we not vibing?
I am loving the whole like mauve and pink and
do you see?
We stay on the vibe.
You see that? And it was not planned. It was not planned.
We don't ever plan it. So I was up here like listening to you talk about the Cash App, and like I don't know why Patti LaBelle's "If You Ask Me To" came in my head.
Really?
So I made up a song like "If You Ask Me To, I'll shout out your Cash App. I'll let everyone know that you paid me."
I'm saying, hey, I will, because sometimes people are like, you know what I mean? They cash at me, you know, and they send a little message, but I'm like, a lot of people don't like other people knowing, right?
Yeah.
Where they send their money. They want to keep it to themselves. So I'm like, that's what Cash App is for. And Cash App is better because they don't take a chunk out of it like YouTube does. YouTube takes a nice big chunk out of the super chats. Okay. So FYI, guys, FYI.
And I'm that person too. Like I'm usually that person. I would rather do the private thing. I'm one of those people. So I appreciate that you keep it private for people who do the Cash App, unless they ask you to, like Patti LaBelle.
Yes. And some guys say it with their chest and they don't give a damn, and we appreciate them too. We like big balls here. We like big balls on the block. Okay, it's all about the big balls on the block. Lily,
it's a lot going on.
We up here looking like we got options.
A whole snack.
Okay.
A meal and a dessert.
Now I could stand up and show everybody why I got options, which seems to be an issue lately with people, but I'll let you go to On the Block with Jen at Instagram if you want to see me completely. But Lily, we must. I love it. Lily, we have to do a show all about options.
Yes, because I feel like a lot of people, there's people who, well, I will say the larger part of the population wouldn't know what that's like. And so we kind of, explain it and break it down and what that looks like.
And no shade, right? No shade. We're just saying that sometimes when you don't have as many options as the next person, you assume what their life is, or you assume what they have to put up with or tolerate, right? Or settle for. But sometimes it's two different worlds, right? It's like a guy who has, I don't know, a Honda telling a guy who can afford a Lamborghini what he shouldn't be doing with his money. Can't really tell someone who has more options than you what they should or should not be settling for. It is just common sense, right? It goes back to people not fishing in their pond, or no pun, or, driving in their lane and what have you. There's a such thing as options. And when you have options, you sort of have your pick of the litter, and it's okay. It's not a bad thing, right? Because everybody uses their privilege. Everyone uses their privilege, okay? Everyone uses their privilege. And if you're smart, that is what you will do, right? It's like Elvis told us yesterday. We're on this rock for this spinning ball of water I call Earth. 80 years if we're healthy, and we live up to 90, some of us, but some, by the time you're 90, you're back in diapers or someone's wiping your ass, right, Lily? So we have to, live out loud. I said 2023 is not the year for being humble. We could be humble when we're in our graves, but we work hard, all right, to have the success that we've had and look the way we look, and we should fucking be okay with letting people know that we're okay with the work that we put in, right? Everybody loved Kobe because Kobe didn't give a damn to let you know he was the best on the court, right?
Right. I have a girlfriend who, she is a self-made millionaire Black woman. Shout out to her. And one of my closest friends, and she called me one day because she was coming here to New York, literally flying here to New York to go to this place that they do piercings, but they curate, and it's super expensive, right? And I went with her, and I got to enjoy that experience with her. Now, I don't have the type of disposable income that she has to drop that amount of money on an earring, but she does. She can drop that, not bat an eye, and keep it moving because she worked hard for that. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it's not like one of her bills are suffering. It's not like something's suffering and she's here getting, you know what I'm saying? And so I know some people was like, oh my God, I would never. I'm like, yeah, but you don't know what that life is like. So that's not your tax bracket. Like that's
right.
And
it's okay. And it's okay to really, we have to do the options topic, and it's okay to celebrate people who are in a better position than you, right? It doesn't diminish you.
No.
It's just they're in a better position. And we saw that with Ciara and Russell Wilson when it's like, I would never let my wife. Well, your wife is not a mega pop star with a body like Ciara, right? There are levels to this thing. So if you are a man in Russell Wilson's tax bracket and you have Ciara on your arm, your entire mindset is going to be different. So you can't say what you would not do because you're not in that situation. And people don't understand how much you change as you level up. You're not the same person. You're not the same person. But
you're not.
I digress, but not really, because we have to throw that in the list, Lily. We have to do a show on options. People think that if they're not winning big, that they can't be happy, right? You don't have to win big to be happy, right? You don't have to chase, you don't have to chase the golden egg to be happy. You can be extremely happy where you are. There are people that are happy living in a little, you know what I mean, Bronx apartment with their husband or their wife and their babies, and they're happy. But you have to be happy no matter where you are.
Right.
And I think sometimes people get the side eye when they're doing better than the next person. We have to be able to celebrate people that are doing better than us, because there's always somebody doing better than us.
Right.
And
there
that's
always
okay.
will be. There will always.
And that is okay. Okay. Like some guys holding a money phone up to their ear on Instagram, and some guys, you know what I mean, get the bank closed down because they walk in and they got the most money in that bitch. Like, it's okay that other people doing better than you. What's up, chat? Hold us down. I see you, Marcos, JB, Simeon. Good to see you, gentlemen. Z Nasir. How are you doing, darling? Lily, this is a look, honey. This is a look. I like it. I like what you're doing.
Something a little different today. Yeah, you know.
I love it. It's very, very rich.
I tell you, my last minute rush looks are always the best, hands down. I'm literally running through the house, just grabbing shit, running towards the living room to get up, and I'm just throwing things on, and I sit down, I'm like, oh.
Nice.
Okay.
I know. I love it. And we truly came up here with the pink and the mauve, and we didn't even plan it. I'm loving the aesthetics.
Yes, this could be my life.
Lily, before we get into this juicy topic tonight, Jonathan Majors, our caterpillar, who you know, bloomed into a butterfly.
Yeah, I just got an update as we were going live, and I put it.
What's that? First of all, let's talk about what happened first before we get that update.
I gotta check and see if I could share it with the public, because it did come from an inside source. But
okay, so Jonathan.
Let's get them caught up.
Okay,
right?
Guys, in case you're not caught up, Jonathan Majors, the actor, most recently working opposite Michael B. Jordan in the movie Creed, was arrested for a domestic violence incident. A young lady dialed 911 and said he done choked me up and hit me about the head. The cops agreed, said she had marks on her neck, and Jonathan Majors was arrested. That is the news, hot off the press and hot off the streets. Very, very, very messed up, because he's had all this great success. Creed is like the #1 movie around the world right now. So this is messed up for him. I'm not one to take sides. I don't know what happened. I don't know that man personally. I am just saying what I saw, but I also know, because of my background and my experience, it's very easy to get in a tussle with someone in a relationship. So with that said, I will wait for more information before I make complete judgment. That is where I will leave it. Lily, you can tell us what you think or what you saw or what you can say.
Okay, well, I just reviewed everything. They ended up putting this public, so I can say it. So basically what the people are saying here in New York, in the actor scene and behind the scenes, apparently this has been common knowledge in New York, that basically this is what the person said. I'm just going to read what they say, since they wrote it and they posted this.
Okay.
And the person who shared it with me because they were corroborating this. Like, they were like, oh, what this person wrote was what we all know.
Okay.
So it says, I'm just going to say this about Jonathan Majors and be done with it. Folks at Yale and the broader NYC community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath and an abuser, and that's how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame that it took this long for him to be reported. Now, with that bit of information, Now, with that bit of information, I'm going to say this. We've talked about things like this on the show before. Only thing that makes this a little bit different is typically these things, well, I think because he fucked up. He genuinely fucked up tonight in it, you know, and he's the biggest man in Hollywood right now. So if 911 gets called, TMZ is also getting called, okay?
Absolutely.
And so
cash that check.
So typically these type of things don't come out until they stop producing as much. And you always hear me say that. Once they stop producing as much revenue for Hollywood or for just for the industry in general.
Yes.
All of a sudden, everyone starts opening their mouth. Everyone has something to say, and they're usually not as protected after that. Right. Right now, he's like at the height of his protection, but I don't know after today what that's going to look like. You know, a lot of people are saying if this comes out to be true, his contract with Marvel is definitely in jeopardy. So we're
oh my.
But
tisk,
like you,
tisk.
But like you, I don't know him. I wasn't there. I'm just reporting what the people in the industry are saying behind the scenes, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Ouch! A whole sociopath. That's not a light accusation.
And they said this is how people refer to him and been referring to him for years.
Okay, well, I will say this. I've watched his interviews. Again, I don't know this man personally. He's a very intense personality.
Okay.
During interviews. But you know, I thought he was just one of those brooding actors. Some of those actors are very, you know what I mean? They're very internalized, brooding people. So he's not Michael B. Jordan. Like Michael B. Jordan has a lighter personality.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a Jamie Foxx who has a very light personality, or even a Denzel, but he's a very brooding, interesting character. I don't know if people know he walks around with a cup. Have you seen it?
Oh, I didn't know that. What's that about?
Okay, he walks around with a little teeny cup everywhere he goes. Like if you Google some of his pictures, he'll be holding that little cup. And I was like, what the hell is the little cup for? And he said it's because his mama told him that I'm paraphrasing, he's a vessel and only he can fill himself up and empty himself out. No one else can do that to him by whatever it is that they say. So he walks around with this little cup, and it represents his mama told him, you are a vessel, you can fill yourself up, and only you can empty your vessel. So he walks around with this little cup. And I was like, what's that little cup? He walks around with the little cup, Lily.
So that's his blankie.
It's his blankie.
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference? If he walked around with a blankie, there would be no difference.
So I was like, okay, so he's one of those very deep, artsy kind of, you know what I mean? Them guys, right? We know them guys in New York City from the Village and shit like that.
Yes.
We know them guys. Them guys.
Very well.
Right. So I was like, okay, so now with this coming out, and then, you know, once one person hits the press, then everybody else starts saying, oh, I knew that too. So this may get messy. Unfortunate for him. I hope the lady that got beat about the head, if she really got beat about the head, is okay. But the cops did say she had marks on her neck and what have you. So there was something physical going on, right? Now, of course, his people are like, absolutely not. This didn't happen. But he's on top of the world right now. And he was right on the verge of this is where the big checks get cut for him, right? And if the big checks are getting cut for him, so for the manager, the agent, the PR, the marketing, and what have you, so they're going to go tooth and nail as far as they can to protect his image right now. But we'll see, because if that woman comes out, unfortunately for him, he hasn't been out long enough and established long enough. And I know people are going to say, he's been acting for 5 years. I get it. I'm talking about when people started paying attention to him is now after he got the body. Nobody was checking for Jonathan Majors before. They're checking for him now. Yeah. So, I was telling my friend, I was like, Jonathan Majors got arrested. He was like, who? Right? So it's going to be hard for them to clean this up because he's not established. Now, if he was established, you know, he'd have a bunch of groupies and he'd have the swarm, right? And they would be like, he didn't do it, right? You have to be very, very established. And then people don't care, you know, if you molest children. They'll be like, I'm still playing that song. So unfortunately for Jonathan Majors, he hasn't done enough to have the swarm and his own hive coming to his defense. So this is going to be very interesting to see how it unfolds. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Interesting.
But then, you know, I always have to side eye I knew he was like that, people, because why you wasn't saying anything before today? Or, you know, have you? You know, because those people are going to be coming out and I'm going to be side-eyeing them. Just like when I watched a little bit of the R. Kelly Survivor R. Kelly, I was like, lock all them hoes up. All of them. Everybody. Cameraman, everybody. Lock them up. Because how did you all know all of this information, but all of a sudden when the checks stopped, Now you got a conscience and a heart and care about the kids. Like, no, this has been going on since the 90s. But when he stopped producing as many records and as much for the industry and not paying people, that he wasn't in a position to pay people. You notice it was right after his publisher was stolen. His publisher was stolen, which means he no longer has any money. And now all of a sudden everybody has a conscience.
So then they were like, oh, let's open up this box of worms, fuck it, and get what we can, like, you know, as scavengers or vultures. Right. It's interesting you say that. I have a very good friend, and he was like, I like you because you say shit before everybody else feels safe to say it. And he was telling me that in Hollywood, like you just said, Lily, echoing your statements, that people are cowards and they come out when everybody else is out. Then it's like, oh, I knew he wasn't shit. You knew. Keyword is you knew he wasn't shit. But people are definitely afraid of losing money in this business, and they'll go along to get along, right? Like Kwame Brown was saying, the go along to get along gang is real in Hollywood. And most people will not open their mouth until like 10 other people did it. And then it's like, yeah, I knew. Even when the link you sent me with Joe Budden was on Drink Champs, which is a great interview, he even said that he doesn't want to talk about people because he didn't want to get that phone call, right? That's how protected these people are. And he was like, actually, I don't say as much as I could say. If I said everything that I knew, I'd get in a lot of trouble. So
he said I'd be dead.
Oh, okay. He said he'd be dead. So the code of silence, like the blue wall in the police department, that shit's real. And no one would say anything about anybody Joe Budden was referring to unless 100 other people came out. Then it's like, yeah, I knew Jay-Z wasn't shit. You know what I mean? And using Jay as an example, not as a literal. So, you know, it's interesting how people get real bold. But also with that said, you have to think most people are cowards and most people are afraid to lose their money, especially when they come from nothing.
Right. And it's like relationships are everything in this industry.
Everything.
Right? And so I've gone through that as well. There's been times that I've been like, do I gotta pretend like I'm going along with this shit? Because I don't believe none of this. But you know, like I've never seen nothing.
I could picture you in the board meeting.
Oh, you should see me. Like I just be like, really? Like you all can't believe this shit. Like, we all acting like we are in agreement. And you know, I don't even want to get specific because people, you know, whatever. But but you know, and the other thing, but let me be clear, is that I've never seen nothing like foul, like, you know, nothing foul like that. You know, we know people are trash. We know there's trash people.
Right.
So that's nothing to even talk about. So
I've seen a lot of shit. I've heard a lot of shit. I've never, ever stood by watching a child get hurt or, you know what I mean, abused or any type of thing like that. Now, as far as women goes, and it's like, oh, the casting couch and this, that, and the third, I'm like, you're an adult. You gotta decide how you want to handle this business and go into this business. It goes without saying, there are a lot of women that use their body for roles and parts, and you know what I mean, the come up girls and things like that. But then Harvey Weinstein was a predator. So do I think that Harvey Weinstein sexually assaulted women? Do I think that Harvey Weinstein used his power as leverage? Yes. Do I also think that there were women that are like, what movie you gonna get me into? I'll suck it. Right? Yes, those women also exist. So, you know, with that said, and especially with white women, I'm like, y'all got the power of privilege. If y'all ain't saying shit, I'm not Captain, you know, I say Captain Save a Whitey. I'm not Captain Save a Whitey. You have the privilege, the power, and the freaking press, right, to get this man. I'm not going to jump in that fray. You do it.
Yep. You do it. I'm not doing it. Hey. I'm not. Get somebody else to do it. I'm not doing it.
You said get somebody else to do it. Go get somebody else to do it.
I'm trying to get my next gig. And child, you be still fucking and fucking. You be still on your knees on the casting couch, girl. No, ma'am. I'm good.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Simeon said if it's a Black woman, no one will care. You know what's curious about that? Very, very curious and interesting. Let's see if it's a white woman, because remember, Jonathan Majors dates white.
I was just about to say, you already know it's a white woman.
So we see.
And that makes it even worse, you know. Yeah, It's definitely going to be a white woman.
Yeah. Oh, if it's a white woman, she had them pink prints on her neck. Oh, baby.
All the evidence is still there,
All
baby.
the evidence is still there. She had his fingerprints in pink on that neck. Ooh,
Oh man, she done got a good payday too. Why he didn't choke my ass up? Where was he at? Why was I in the house tonight? I could have been getting choked out in Midtown.
Lily, the domestic violence people are coming after us.
I know, this is horrible.
They're gonna be like, remember y'all said? I'll be like, wait a minute, I said it. Yeah,
You know what? I'm at an age now, and
oh yeah,
we're
we're beyond.
Yeah,
we're beyond.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, no,
and that's the goal of life.
Yeah.
That's been a goal of mine for some years. Like since I was in my 20s, I'm like, oh, I want to be old and just be able to say whatever.
Yeah, it took us a while, but we're here. Yes. And it feels good here. It feels good here. That's why when I hear like young women talk about, nah, you gotta be, bitch. See me in 20 years. Come back in 20 years, you're gonna be talking a whole different, you know what I'm saying, a whole different thing. You find out.
Do you ever get flashbacks of some of your beliefs and thoughts 20 years ago and start laughing like, oh, I was standing on that. I was like, oh, because so self-righteous. I just believe that the one,
Lily, I am a non-believer. And every now and then, Facebook throws memories at us. Lily. My memories from 13 years ago talk about, well, God is going to bless everybody. I'm reading these memories like, who the fuck are you, lady? Who the fuck are you? I start deleting them. Get the
yeah. Right. I don't want nothing to do with that.
Good morning, everybody. Blessings.
Jesus saves.
Jesus
saves. Loves you too.
Let's thank God. God woke everybody up this morning. Oh my God. Do I think back on shit? I'm like, oh. Who is that lady?
Right. I swear, like, especially 20 years ago, but even 10 years ago, like you said, 13 years ago, like totally different beliefs. But
yeah, people change.
And that's why at this age, I understand that my belief system is always up for revision because the truth is only according to the perspective of the person.
Absolutely.
So that's what the truth is. So I can change my truth at any given moment.
That's why I always say, whose truth? Like when people say, this person tells the truth, that's why they don't like them. Whose truth, honey? Whose truth are they telling? Because everybody's telling the truth. Grand evening, Dawood. Good to see you.
Every villain is someone's hero.
Absolutely. Marcos, you missed yesterday. It was a good time. It was a good time yesterday. It's okay. We're going to repeat it tonight. We're going to have a good time tonight as well. But that's another thing I love about the block, because I learned things, you know what I mean? The way Justin put it down yesterday about them 666, like I was like, oh, that's a hell of an interpretation. I like that. Very, very nice. And people have been talking to me about his interpretation of the 3/6s. So it was a good stream yesterday. There's a lot to learn from men and women on the block, if I do say so myself. And we are good luck. We sitting up here like options and shit.
Right? A whole option. Oh, Kareem is hilarious.
I saw this. Those are the new Muslims, okay?
The Newslims, yeah.
Those are the Newslims. That's why the stream we had the other day with Ciara, I said, these are the new Christians.
Yeah.
But you know what? Christians.
I don't see nothing wrong with it. Why can't you love the Lord and shake your ass? He gave you the ass to shake. I'm just saying. This is the Lord's ass. And I'll shake it the way I please.
You know damn well I dated a Muslim who wanted me to finger his ass, okay? Since it's Sexy Saturday, let's talk about it.
And did I ever tell you about the Muslim that I used to have sex with, and every time we were done, he would hit the magic carpet and start praying. And I just
Wait, but what kind of Muslim? NOI Muslim or regular, like, you know what I mean, sand Middle East Muslim? They're different.
Prison Muslim. Prison.
Okay, prison. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the third one. You're absolutely right. There are three kinds. Okay,
Yeah,
go
he was
ahead.
that kind. So I would tell him, like, listen, while you down there, just do an advanced prayer for the next time to save you some trouble. Because you're coming back. You're coming back.
Listen, if you are watching this show and you're listening, okay, there was an epiphany. Lily told me people are just sexual, and I think that the sooner you realize that and accept that, the sooner you will free yourselves. Because people are sexual, and you never know what their fantasies are and what they want. Elvis, the chef Rosenberg, was here last night. He said, "Listen, I get on the bed, boomed over, and I wanted my wife to eat my ass." He said that here. That's a grown man, and I don't see, I don't sense anything homosexual about Elvis. You just have to understand that men and women and everything in between, we are sexual beings and
Right.
we like different things, and our fantasies are through the roof. That's why that book that Justin recommends, what was it?
Oh,
God,
God.
the My Secret Garden.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, I downloaded it. Yes.
My Secret Garden is literally a book, a collection of women's fantasies, okay? And they will blow your mind. Everybody is sexual. It's just people are hiding it because of religion, tradition, and what other people are going to think. And that's why I appreciate people like Elvis, because he's like, I don't give a damn what you think. I was boomed over waiting on my wife to toss my salad, and she
That's
didn't do it, and I was disappointed.
that's why I respect him so much. He is like he is my kind of people. People who don't care and just say it with their chest, whether I agree or not. That's neither here nor there because they don't need me to agree. What you need me to agree for, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when people who can do that, I love people like that. Like those are my
Mm-hmm.
favorite kind.
Oh, Dawood is dropping science. He bringing the big guns. He said, "Who cares what girls are doing? We have to retrain men to see their own errors."
Wow.
Ooh, da-da.
Wow.
That's some real man talk right there, dude.
Wow.
That's some real deal man talk right there. Because a big issue we have is a lot of men over worried about what women are doing, when they really should be looking at the man in the mirror. What are you doing with your life? Because if you are hecho y derecho, if you are a man who's taking care of your business, and only you know what that looks like, no one can define that for you. You know what
Right.
being a man is. If you are taking care of your business, the right woman will appear in your life. Period.
And my dad says this pretty much the same thing. He
Mm-hmm.
always says like the only woman I need to be concerned about is the woman I'm with, the woman I'm married to. Like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
He's never understood how men get on social media and flip out over stuff like that. And he's also never understood like people getting mad that somebody is gay or whatever. He's like, I know. He's like, for the life of me as a straight man, I don't understand what the problem is because that means more women for you. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
like it just never connects with him, and
Right.
I feel like with a real man,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they just don't understand and they don't care.
Right. I
They
mean,
don't
when you look, I mean, that's just, if you just, I mean, that's basic logic. That's not even complicated logic. It's basic logic. If that person is not affecting you in any way, shape, or form, like,
but I will tell you this, it is affecting them.
mm,
There's a reason. Oh yes, oh yes, you don't, those feelings come from somewhere, okay? And I'm gonna tell you what that means. If you see, let's just say like a old white lady or whatever that you're not attracted to. She's probably in her 80s or something,
mhm, mhm,
and she gets with a guy or whatever, and then or whatever. Like you're not gonna that's gonna go over your head. You're not gonna think about it because you're not attracted to her. You're not attracted to him. Neither one of them represents something that you want,
mhm, mhm,
or they don't. You know what I'm saying? There's no personal connection or nothing to remind you of what you don't have or what you want to have or any of those things. So it goes right over your head. You'll keep on scrolling. Oh, but if you see something that does trigger you to remind you what you don't have or what you want
mhm.
and what you can't have, that does something to you, and then they'll try to pick it apart and find something wrong with it. And then they go to the comments and they'll see other angry people that's with them. They're like, yeah, we're gonna be angry together. We're gonna hate Ciara together. We don't know why we're hating her, but okay, I see. Okay, I've read some. Okay, yeah, this is the reason why we hate her. That's it. That's it. Like, there's enough people saying it. So I'm
like the way they hate on Ashanti, but Ashanti represents a woman that doesn't give a fuck about being tied to a man and marriage and pushing babies out for a man, and that's what she represents. And men don't like women, right, that represent. Okay, being single, being beautiful, having options, not wanting to push your kids out, not giving a damn about a ring. Men don't like that. Men don't like that. They need women to be submissive and cowering and dying for a ring. They need that so they can feel better about themselves. Where other men don't give a rat's ass. They're looking at her like Ashanti looks good. Next.
That's it.
Next.
That's it. That's all. Because chances are you'll never meet her, and even if you do, you'll never have her. So just don't. It's nothing for you to worry about, sir. Nothing for you to worry about, sir, ma'am.
Don says a thin line between love and hate.
It's true. Love is hate. Hate is love. It's all the same.
Don is funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight's topic. Okay, you guys saw the thumbnail. Thumbnail got me in trouble on Facebook, but we is here. I think long as you don't write the word sex out, you're good, or porn. Yeah, we're good because I saw my little.
The numbers jumped up, so we're good. Yeah, I was a little. And I noticed something else too, but I'll tell you that in a good way. It was something good I noticed earlier today. So they pushed you up in the algorithm. I noticed.
Do you know what? They pushed me up on Instagram too.
Wow.
Because I used to do the little promos for the show, and I'm like, I got like one or two, and I noticed a lot of people are seeing it now. And then I got 2 guys that always share it. So I'm like, yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm getting visibility. We working hard, Lily, but it's paying off. We working hard, but it's paying off. We just got to keep chopping at the tree.
That's all.
And I'm built for it. I'm built for it.
I've built several businesses from the ground up, and
they
were successful, and then I was like, okay, this was great. Now on to the next. Like, because
options, baby, options. The amazing Spider-Man is back.
Oh, Spider-Man made it back.
How are you, darling? Sir Captain Chaos. Wow, someone calls themselves Captain Chaos. Let's read this, Lily.
I'm very interested.
Just like when you failed a test, the best feeling was when you turned to someone next to you and find out they failed too. Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. You all are coming through already.
The chat been popping lately. That's very, very true. That's a great way to put it. Great way to put it.
People are always looking for reinforcements, even if it's toxic.
Yeah. It's like you too, me too.
I'm broke too. We're both broke. Let's hate on the rich people.
Right. Let's eat the rich.
Because there's definitely an attack on the rich and the pretty right now.
I know. I need to get security. The rich, the pretty, and people with options.
Oh, hold on. There's another topic. Is there an attack on the rich and pretty and options?
They're coming to get us, Lily.
They're
coming to get us. They're coming to get Ashanti, Ciara. They're coming to get us all.
Maybe we all need to move in together. Me, you, Ashanti, Ciara. Who else? They be coming from Megan Thee Stallion.
They're like, they like this in my comments. She was supposed to hit the wall 30 years ago.
They real mad. They are real mad that neither one of us have hit the damn wall.
Where is that wall, damn it?
I don't know what this wall is. As a matter of fact, my grandma,
here's the wall. It's right here, Lily. There goes the right there. That's the wall.
Baby. Listen, my grandma found the love of her life at 81. Homeboy treats her like gold, and they've been together
listen, you just gotta laugh. You gotta laugh at these comments. You have to laugh at the comments. They're funny. They're funny. It's all good. So with that said, great segue into tonight's topic. And again, ladies, gentlemen, you are more than welcome to come up. but we don't do avatars here. We don't even like people that if you have to keep throwing up your avatar, you come up here. Let's see your face. It is Saturday night. Let's chillax, get your drink, get your smoke, whatever you do. I got my cran apple. Lily got her ginger ale. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Lily brought this topic to my attention. I thought it was interesting because I think we've all done it. And I did some research, Lily. The research is interesting.
Oh, I'm very interested in the research.
The research is interesting. Why is sex with a bad ex so damn, like Halle Berry said, good?
Right.
Why is sex with a bad ex so damn good? And hit the like button. Listen to Don Levon, the Amazing Spider-Man. I hope everybody in the chat hit that like button because it helps mama. Why is sex with a bad ex so damn good?
I think both the ladies and the gentlemen could both identify with this topic because something about toxic sex is so good. It's right there on the line of the hobosexual, right?
Okay.
Like
is crazy sex in that, or is that completely different? Because you know how people say sex with a crazy woman is better. Yeah. Is that separate, or
that's toxic? That's part of toxic.
Oh, you're right. True.
So that's why I said the men and the women could both identify, because you know we've heard this a million times from men that crazy women have good pussy, right?
Okay.
I know I have. They said that.
Okay.
They've said it to you though. But you're probably the one that they were talking about though. So I'm just okay. I'm just saying. So, you know, I think it goes.
Lily's taking over the block tonight, y'all. I'm just going to be sipping.
I'm just saying. So, you know, the toxic sex is always the best sex. And it's like, you know this fool ain't good for you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
We are gathered here today.
You know that sex ain't good for you. But yet, you go back for one more round. One more round. And you get there and they put it down like they usually do. Oh, they put it down. But now you done reactivated the whole system all over again. It's like drugs.
You rebooted it. You rebooted the system.
The whole system is rebooted, right? It's like drugs, right? Yes, like what Don Levon says, why are drugs so good? Knowing this, that's exactly the analogy, right? Especially coming from someone who's done drugs before and had to get off of them. Like, this is the same shit, okay? It's the same shit. Like, good sex is like good drugs, okay? Mm-hmm. And when you stay away from them and you go through your detox, you know, you go through a detox period where you're thinking about them and you're thinking about it. But then it starts to subside and you go on and life starts to you find a new normal and things start to get smooth. Oh, but then you get that craving.
Yeah.
You get that craving.
It happens.
And you like, you know what? I ain't got to tell my girlfriend about this. Because you know you should have called your girlfriend first.
You hide it from everybody. You hide it from your friends, your family. You hide it from everybody. Now y'all become secret lovers.
Yes.
Okay.
They wondering why. Because now, once you do it, it reactivated. Now you're back in those feelings again. And they're still toxic. So now you're going through it this time on the low. So your friends don't know why you just canceled lunch. Because you're home crying.
It'd be like, right. It's like 2:00 in the morning after the club. You're like, can y'all drop me off? Be like, but you don't live over there. I know, but can you drop me off? You remember them famous 2:00 in the morning drop me offs?
Yes.
Or no girl, we taking you home. I'll go home after. Can you drop me off?
Right. Or you know what? Let's take separate cars because I got to get up early in the morning. I might need to leave a little early.
Right. Yeah. There it is.
The lies.
Thank you. Thank you for the super chat, Fighter Complex. He says, Diablo Jenny, pero tú estás buenísima, negra. I'll take it.
Yes.
Thank you. Salute, sir. The Amazing Spider-Man says, I will hit anything you ask me to, Jenny. Hit that super chat. That's what you get hit. All right. What's up, POP?
Yes.
What is Don Levon talking about?
Right. He said it's
Don Levon
embarrassing.
said, I've done it. Even my friend was like, bro, you know you're not supposed to be over there, right?
Right. Your friends know because you would have tried and told them all about it, and
Yeah.
here you
That's
are
how
again.
you can't tell the friends everything. It's hard, man. You tell your friends everything, and then it's like you going back, and it's like, I know you're not going back with them. That's why I love that show, Sex Life. Remember that scene, Sex
Uh-huh.
Life? When she was like, I'm just gonna check on him real quick. And she was like, whatever, I'm out.
Girl, listen. But you know, now I will tell you, in my older age, my friends will tell you I've become this person. I've become the person that I don't say nothing until I know it's over. So I could be going through stuff with that person and even going through a back and forth, and you won't know. And you'll think he's like the perfect person because you're not hearing anything. So you're like, oh, he must be Prince Charming and doing everything right. You know, and meanwhile, behind the scenes, I'm trying to work some things out. And I'm not sure. I'm not ready to leave. This is the thing. I don't like bothering people when I know I'm not ready to get into the solution, because I'm very solution oriented. So
but that sounds like it's a growth, Lily.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It took growth because I was sick of doing the back and forth and feeling embarrassed, and and it's just like, okay, you know what? If I'm not ready to leave, it ain't nothing to talk about. I ain't going nowhere today. I'm gonna be here with this toxic ass tomorrow morning.
Right. That takes growth or discipline, because it's hard not to talk about the troubling things that are going on in your life. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Don Levon said it's embarrassing, especially when you talked all that shit about them.
That's what I'm talking about.
Don, you ready to talk shit about me?
Not yet. It's too soon. But you know what though?
I'm gonna have Don talking mad shit.
Oh yeah, of course. She gonna be talking some shit. He might even have to inbox me or her.
You got this crazy bitch. Get you a friend.
I'm like, duh.
Meanwhile, I'll be in his kitchen eating Fruity Pebbles, like,
crazy as hell. What you gonna do about it?
What you pass the milk?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Lily, take a guess. Who goes back to their ex more, women or men?
I would say women.
Very good. Ding, 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 ding. Women go back to their ex for sex more than men. Women go back more than men.
I feel like the men try to go back for the relationship more than the sex.
Oh, I got some information here.
Oh.
It says apparently when it comes to sex, women are more likely to go down that road than men. As the survey found, of the respondents who have slept with an ex, 54% were female, but the men weren't too far behind. 44% were male. So 54% of females go back, 44% of males go back. So I was like,
okay, that sounds about right.
Now, I have some bad news for people who are in new relationships with people. Okay? Because this is the amount of people that go back to their ex for sex, even when they've moved on. According to much research, about 40 to 50% of couples go back to the ex for sex after a breakup.
Hence why I'm single right now.
That's a lot of people who go back to their ex for sex. So while you're dating them and thinking you're starting something new, they finishing their little coffee date with you, and they right after they drop you off, texting that ex for that good sex, because that old broom knows those corners, honey. Okay?
Hence why I'm single right now. Because that's literally what happened in my last relationship.
Do tell. Are you spilling on Sexy Saturday?
I'm spilling it. I mean, like, why do I need to protect the guilty? Just saying.
Shame the devil.
Right. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and what's funny is, we know what we be getting ourselves into. At this age, we kind of know that there's a possibility, right? So I realized when I met him, he was just getting out of a relationship, and it was, and so was I. But there's a difference between a man just getting out of a relationship and a woman just getting out of a relationship. Me just getting out of a relationship that day means I got out of it last year.
Right, correct. Yeah.
I just physically walked out. So there's no, by the time I physically walk out, the attachment is gone from me.
Uh-huh.
But with him, and especially the way it ended, his relationship didn't have like a clear closure either. So he still had that gnawing in the back of his head. And I knew it was there. And I confronted it. I'm like, I feel like there's a gnawing there. Like, is it something you need to take care of before we move further? Because I'm grown. I can understand things happen.
Right.
Right. I'm so he kept trying to reassure me. And it was like the more he tried to reassure me, the more I realized I just felt like I was right. And I was.
So he went back to the ex for sex.
Yep, he went back to the ex for sex, but then he told me, and he was like, but he said he felt nothing. It was kind of pointless and meaningless. But then I'm like, but you already done it, and I gave you an out prior to you doing it, so you were being dishonest. I mean, you're being honest about your dishonesty, but you were still being dishonest when I gave you multiple chances to get out and take care of that before we move forward. So since you couldn't do that, you have all the time in the world, sir.
Okay. So see, I do that too. Yeah. I do that too. I remember my relationship. I'm like, since you have an issue being this community boyfriend for everybody, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take community. Right. I'm gonna take myself off the plate. Yeah. That way you can have all the time in the world to entertain your exes. Because I seem to be I seem to be the person in the way. So I'm going to exit, and then you are free to the world. And that, resulted, as we've all seen, into stalking for years and making fake pages and calls and texts and WhatsApp. And that I was like, no, sir. You needed time, space, and opportunity to entertain your exes. I gave you that. I grant wishes. I'm a genie, bitch.
Too. Yes.
Your wish has been granted.
Right. You will never, ever, 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 ever say Lily coerced you or tried to trick you. No, sir. No. You only do what you want to do in this relationship.
If it's going down, let's get it over with. But going back to what you said, Lily, that you said he was like, hey, it didn't mean anything. So let me read further. It says here, 30% of people get their exes back after a breakup. But out of those 30%, only 15, it gets less and less, only 15% stay together in a healthy relationship. So 40 to 50 go back to have sex, 30% get their exes back, but only 15 of that 30 stay with their ex in a happy, healthy relationship because, and I think Donna said this before, the same reason you break up with somebody the first time is going to be the same reason you break up with them the second time. The person is not going to change. Very rarely do people change. People are set in their ways. So either you're going to tolerate it or compromise around that thing, or you're going to be like, oh, I missed the sex. Let me get some sex out of it. But then that thing is still going to be there. Right. So that sounds like what happened to your guy, where it's like, yeah, I went back for the sex, but then I remembered I'm not really digging that person. And here I am back. And it's like,
they haven't seen each other since. They haven't talked to each other since.
Yep.
And now, but he's ringing my phone every day. Sir, you are wasting your time over here. You need to start checking out the waters because I am out of the dating pool. And even if I was, I wouldn't be on your end. So, but we're cool, no problems, whatever. But no, I mean, for everything that you just said, all of those reasons still exist for the reason that they broke up. So it's, he played himself.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you what I think it was. I think the long distance got to him, and that was familiar.
Oh, wait. So you were in a
long distance relationship,
LDR, and that person was in his state.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That's a no-brainer.
But I'm grown. We ain't sitting up here in the fetal position crying over
right.
Like, go and do what you got to do, sir. I'm good.
Right. So the amount of time it usually happens in, it's within a 2-year period. It says having sex with an ex after the fact, probably within a 2-year period. Within that 2 years, they're going to be having sex with the ex within that 2-year period. And then after that, they're probably completely, totally over it. It also says people who are separated or married and legally separated continue to have regular sex contact within those 2 years, which I understand because let's say you're married to somebody, you built a whole life with them, now you're divorced or separated. It's kind of like you're not ready to get back out in the dating world. You're going to go back and get that familiar ass. It's like, hey, what are you doing? I hate you, but whatever, right? What are you doing, right? It's easier, right? So these are very, very interesting. Okay, very, very interesting little facts and nuggets here. I was surprised to see this myself. And then you have to think about yourself. Like, it's like, did I go back to an ex? How many times did I go back to an ex? Why did I go back to an ex? One of the number one reasons people go back to an ex is for comfort.
Yes.
It's comfortable. It's a familiar place.
That person knows you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had one I went back and forth with over 10 years because of that. Because the sex per se wasn't off the meter.
Mm-hmm.
It was the bond and the fact that I knew him so well and he knew me so well. But then we'll start communicating again, start hanging out again, and it won't take me long to realize and remember why I always, move away from him. And it's, the same stuff still exists.
What's interesting too, as I kept reading, they said only 10% of people go and have sex with the intent of reconciliation. That's a little bit.
They do what?
Only 10% go have sex with the intent of reconciliation, like getting the relationship back.
That's a lower number than I expect.
Yeah, it says only 10% go back looking for reconciliation, like to get the relationship back. Everybody else just need to get their fuck on.
I would have thought the percentage would have been higher, honestly. I would have 10% higher.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought like at least 30 would have, want that old thing back, the whole thing. Like,
it says 10 to 14% of people who admitted to sex with an ex said they really had their hopes and heart set on reconciling with reconciling their relationship. So 10 to 14% are the only ones that were like, hey, I want you back. The others are like, I just needed some ass.
Well, I was part of that 10%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this guy had a hold on me. He had a hold on me. And still to this day, I can't even tell you what it was. Because it, like, out of all of the guys, I would say looks wise, he was the least good looking one. The sex was mid. But we just had this bond, I guess. I think that's what it was. But I don't know. I guess that's what it was. He just he had this way to the point where I realized he's dangerous. Like, I can't be around him and hope, like, and I'm a very strong-minded person. So this is saying a lot. Like, I'm not that girl who goes back and forth. He's the only one. I'm very much so like, okay, boom, keep it moving. But with this man, it was just something about him. Now, I will tell you, the one who broke my heart, that sex was so mind-blowing, amazing every single time that I was scared to touch that motherfucker ever again. I said, no. You will not. You will not get that opportunity. Oh, no. Because that sex was so good and I was in love with him. And he broke my heart. I said no. And I wanted to towards the beginning, like, so bad.
This one was funny. Has anyone in the chat or the panel, Lily, has anyone done this? They said this percentage was funny. 5%, okay, of people, 5% of people have sex with their ex for revenge. For revenge. What kind of revenge? Okay. While I'm not sure how revenge can come from having a night of sex, apparently 5% of people have sex with an ex that was their sole motive. So you can get them turned on beyond belief, then bail. So they're unclear and you leave them hanging and let them know that you're obviously will always be great in bed. 5% had sex with their ex solely for revenge. Like, you gonna remember this pussy, or you gonna remember this dick. Who does that, Lily? Are you guilty?
I'm thinking I am.
Chat,
Yeah.
are you guilty?
I think somebody just owned up to it. Tyrone owned up to it. And Don.
Oh my goodness.
We're
You
horrible
evil,
people.
evil people.
Yeah, we're horrible people. And you know what was sad about it? Till this day, I still feel justified.
Okay. Hey, no regrets, just lessons.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that simple. Because that was the one I kept going back and forth with. And I needed something over him. Because he had something over me and I didn't like that. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I was like, I know ain't nobody, I know nobody putting it down on you like this. Like, don't get it twisted. So, and it was true. Like,
okay, so you're part of that 5%. It says right here,
5%.
5% have sex with an ex for revenge. Don Levon says that's why dating single mothers, especially with small children, is a no for me. They are likely to be sleeping with their baby daddy. Oh, for sure. I did it. I did it 20 some odd years ago. Women are more than likely sleeping. Yes, especially when the child is young, like shit.
Let me tell you something.
10 years old and younger, baby daddy's still hitting. If not old, and I'm being generous with the age,
Yeah,
but
I was about to say you're being generous.
I'm being very generous.
My mother and my biological father divorced in like 86, and that man's still in love with her. And she done been married almost 40 years, and he's been married 20 years, remarried 20 years, and that man still is googly-eyed over that woman. So I believe that. That's a real thing.
I can confess, I had sex with my baby daddy after he was married to someone else.
I can see that.
I can see that. I can see
I mean, because y'all share something that, like, that's a real bonding right there. A whole human between you. That's bonding.
A whole human that looks just like him, and he was married, and he came back to crying. True story, no cap. He came back after he got married, had the wedding ring on, was crying, saying it should have been me and him, and he wants his family back, and he wants it because he didn't have children with her. He was like, he wants his family back, blah, blah, blah. And, I listen, familiar, very, very familiar. We had been together 13 years, almost 14 years. That was some familiar penis to me. Yeah. And I'm single out in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, why not? So I didn't really, I didn't see, like, I was like, he's married or whatever. But I was like, that ain't the sanctity of marriage. Like, this is my baby daddy.
Right.
We've been together almost 14 years. I don't know you, chick.
Like, I own that dick, bitch.
Oh yeah, especially back then. Woo! In my early 20s, I was a fucking monster.
Oh, yeah, in the early 20s. Oh God.
I was hell on wheels. Ooh, I was hell on wheels. I'm still hell on wheels, but in a different way. In a different way.
Yeah, I'm more considerate now. But
right. So yeah, back then, oh for sure. Like I didn't give a rat's damn about her. Like we were smashing on a regular. But again, it goes to show, like back to what Don Levon said, you're gonna hook your baby daddy up. He gonna hook you up, especially if she's single, right? Especially if the baby mother is single, for sure. But yeah, he came back, got the crying, was like, should have been us. He wants his family back. And he came back decades later. Like we don't talk now, but so nobody worry about that. We don't talk now. But even years later, when my daughter was in her 20s, and he's still married to the same woman. And I'm sorry if I'm putting her on blast and somebody goes run back and tell her, I don't give a fuck. That's life. Shit happens.
Right. It's okay,
yeah, I mean, it's my truth. I don't tell people's business, but if I was involved and I partook, I can tell my story. Yeah, so he, years later, like my daughter was already in her 20s, and he was like, I want to open up this business. I want us to get back together, and I want us to do. I was like, you got a whole wife that you could rock a business with. We're not. It's over. The ship has sailed. Like our kid is 20 something years old. Like the ship has sailed. It's over. And now we don't talk because he's what I feel is very resentful.
Oh, okay.
Very resentful of like,
Hmm.
me and him did it. And I'm like, I don't give, listen,
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah, I have that guy.
the sex with the ex thing happens, especially when you share a child.
Yeah, I can imagine what that is like. I don't know, but I just have always imagined that that will be 10 times harder to break away. And like I said, just from looking at my own parents, and my mom even, and my mother is like happily married. Like
Hmm.
my bonus father, the one that raised my brother and I, he treats my mother like gold. But she still be
Awesome.
like, yeah, he still want me. Yeah. Like whenever they're in the same vicinity and like
Oh, like
he'll
if I call, let me tell you something. I done cussed that dude out a couple years back, and I was like, "Motherfucker, don't call me, don't text me no more. Our kid is almost 30 years old. I ain't got nothing to fucking say to you." If I called him right now,
right.
if I called him right now, I hit him with a "Hey, big head" text,
Oh
please.
yeah.
Please.
Yes. Oh yes. You already know. Yep, the
Right.
one that got away.
Yeah, yeah. No, I needed to get away.
Yeah,
I
sometimes we
needed to
do.
get away.
So I have a question. Do you think um now, like at this age and this stage in life, do you think that you can get some dick so good, some toxic dick that's so good that you need to leave and you keep that you will go back again? Or have you evolved to be able to withstand the dick, the toxic?
You know what, Lily? That's a great question because I question myself about that. Like, would I ever go crazy over a guy again? I say no, but then I don't know.
Right.
Like, I don't know how good, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get a stroke in the future, and I'm like, oh my God, like who sent you? I don't know. Like, I feel like no, because it's like I'm more level-headed now, and I'm like, this is what it is. Either you're gonna rock with me or not, either you like me or not, either we're gonna make this work or not. I think a lot more logically, but I don't know. Maybe the guy will have the magic stick.
Right.
I
Right.
don't know.
And you've been celibate.
Long time, yeah. Well, not a long time, but I'm saying going almost a year and a half now.
Right. So if
That's a long time
yeah, that's
for
a long
the
time.
hook
Yeah,
in the hookup culture. That's a long time.
honey. Okay, because
Okay,
somebody they probably hooking up while they watching the show. So, hey
go
guys,
deeper, go deeper.
thanks for having us. Thanks for letting us join in. But I even still think about that though. It's strong minded and it's all of that level headed as I am. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
human, and who knows? But I think not. I think not.
You sure, Lily?
Okay, hold on. Cause hold on. The one I just broke up with, I have thought about doing a drive by a couple times.
Ah. Now, let me ask the real question. I think you just answered it in a way. I think you just answered it in a way. Is there an ex right now that can call you from not recent, like 10 years ago, that can
Okay.
still smash from like 10 years ago? Not recent, because recent is easy to say, yeah, I would, because it was recent. From like 10 years ago.
Okay. The the only one that I know that can still get me is that one I kept going back and back and back and forth with.
Okay. So there's a staple in your memory. Like there's a staple, there's that guy.
Yeah, we got this thing that's just
Okay.
so it's just unbreakable. I think it will never break, and that's why I kind of avoid him, and I don't I make sure I'm not alone with him because he.
Smart.
So we met in Atlanta. We dated in Atlanta, but he was born and raised here. His
Mm-hmm,
mother still lives here. So even
mm-hmm,
though I've moved here, I still have to work in Atlanta a lot, and he still has to come here a lot. And
mm-hmm.
he's always reaching out, and he always stalks from like avatarless profile. So it's always a
Mm-hmm.
profile with no avatar, and
Of
then
course.
it's him, and I find out that he's been
Mm-hmm.
following for a whole year. So it is what it is.
Oh my God. What is Don Levon convulsing about in the chat?
And he said not 10 weeks ago.
Haran said, "What's up, Haran DeMarco?" Haran said, "That's a part of the breakup package for me." What's a part of the breakup package?
I think he's talking about the revenge sex.
Really?
Clear that up, Haran. Is that the revenge sex that's part of the package?
Not now, Don Levon. Don Levon said, "Baby daddy can always hit." Not now. I can hit him, yeah, but not now. No, not now. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
You have that option.
Yeah, not even. No, not even a little bit.
He's like, I will not be exercising this option. Won't
No.
be happening. Thank you very much.
No.
You can take that back, and
you can take that back to your wife. Thank you, though. Thanks for the offer.
I'm not gonna lie though. That one that broke my heart with the good dick, I still do.
Really?
I still do be wanting to I just be thinking about it, but I don't think I'll do it. I don't think I will do it. Because, well, this is the thing. I'm completely over him. As a love and wanting to be with him and all that. That has long been, and because I laugh about the fact that I was in, the boo-hoo ugly cry in the fetal position, during that breakup, the friends got to bring over the Ben and Jerry's and all of that, right? So it was that guy. But, so it is the revenge sex, Haran. We have horrible people. Horrible people we are.
Oh, you go back and give us some dick and be like, yeah, you ain't never going to get dick like this again.
Right. And he said that's part of the package for him. So that means he does this often.
Oh, my God. What's up, NYA? He said, Jen, what? Yeah, I did. I mean, listen, look, and I especially don't view marriage like other people view marriage. And apparently my baby daddy doesn't view marriage
I'm about to say they don't either.
He doesn't either. It's a ring. He was on a rebound. I hear the chick even looks like me, except she's like my nice twin. I'm the evil twin. Okay. I hear she's a school teacher and she has my look, but she's very quiet and whatever. And I was like, first of all, ain't a bitch alive, got my look, bitch. Okay. Right. Let's start there. Second, I'm like, he played it safe, right? And that's what men do. They play it safe. They play it safe, and then they come looking for an us.
Right.
Okay, so that's what happened. He went and put the ring on the safe one, and then he came back looking for me.
And not
Stop playing it safe.
And not only do they come back looking for us, but we know more about them than their wives. A lot more. We know more about them than their wife, their family, and their friends put together.
A lot more. Donovan said he's toxic. I'm not level-headed. Don't tell me what I am. He said I'm not level-headed. I am too.
He says, I'm trying to think logically.
He said an X is an X. You only get one shot at the title. That's some bullshit. Stop the cap.
Lies.
Stop the cap.
The lies.
I bet I could. You're right. You've had sex with an ex before. Everybody does it. Stop the cap. I don't believe that. You're like, no, I don't want to see you anymore. And you never look back. That's a damn lie. You'd be an anomaly. You'd be
because
you'd be an anomaly.
I'm close to being that person, but even I have gone. I got that one. We all got at least that one. Come on, especially after a certain age, you have accumulated that one at least. But I want to bet for most people it's more than just that one. And the reason why I bet that because I am the way I am. Everyone's always so amazed of how I handle exes and relationships and stuff like that. They always say one thing about Lily, she has no problem walking away. That's one thing about me. I'm like, oh, it's no longer working. The expiration date, we have passed our expiration date. Thanks for the memories. I will take the good ones with me. I'll burn the bad ones, and I'm going on about my life. No hate, no tea, no shade. Going on about my day and my life. No big deal.
Dawn says, yeah, I had sex with an ex a few times, but they didn't have a shot at the time. Oh, Lord. So back to my research. I'm like, what makes you think people want a shot at the title? Maybe they just want some ass.
Right. Maybe she want a nut.
Right. If you be like, you ain't got a shot at the title, maybe she just wanted a shot at the dick. So here are a couple other reasons why people have sex with their ex as a way of making sure they're totally over them. As a ways of making sure they're totally over them. Like, I'm going to go have sex and see I'm still weak on this dick.
I don't think I've done that. Have you done that?
I don't think I've done that either, because when I have indulged, I wanted to indulge. I never went in like, let me see if I'm over this.
But did you discover that you were over it?
Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Right. Yes. I was like, oh, that was for nothing.
It was it was more of a byproduct than actual goal.
Yes, absolutely. It was like, oh, okay, we're here. We used to date 5 years. Let's do it. Let's get naked. We've been naked before with each other. And then afterwards, it's like, oh, that was really uneventful. Yeah.
I could have stayed at home.
I could.
I could have sent that email. I'm always thinking about emails when I get bad sex.
Right?
Every time. I'm like,
you're like, fuck, I could have made that deadline.
Right. I could have made that freaking deadline. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Here's another reason: because they miss the good things about them and have totally forgotten the bad.
Now that was me with the guy. That was me. I'm her. I can only remember the good.
Yeah. Don't you hate that your brain does that?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But I told you though, that's a character flaw of mine, and it still is. Mm-hmm. But I've developed a method to keep me safe, because I already know I'm going to forget. I forget because I don't like carrying.
So what do you use to like remember or remind you?
So whenever someone does something that I deem like it's something that they can't come back from, mm-hmm. then I'll tell myself, Lily, you know you're going to forget. Okay, you know you're going to forget. Mm-hmm. Just remember, don't ever fuck with them again. And so that's what I remind myself. Just don't fuck with them. Like, you don't need to know the reason why. You know you're going to forget. You know and whatever you remember is only going to be the good stuff. You already know how this story is going to go. Mm-hmm. Just don't fuck with them again. Do not allow them in your life for mm-hmm. no reason. And so that's been working. I've been doing that for a long time, and that really works for me, because I genuinely forget, because I don't like holding on to negative feelings. I don't mm-hmm. like, it's so heavy for me. Mm-hmm. And so I discard them and I compartmentalize them, kind of like an abused child, you know? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what I do. And I legit forget. I really do.
Wow.
And I used to let people back in my life. I'm talking about not just ex, I'm talking about people. I used to let people back in my life this is when I was younger, but I was in my 20s. I was in my 20s when I developed that method, and it's been working ever since.
Yeah. Like, my cutoff game is
my cutoff game is
stellar.
Real.
It's like my fallback and cutoff game. All I got to do is tell you, I cut off immediate family members. Mm-hmm. Immediate family members that I grew up in the same home with. So you want to fuck with me? Like, my cutoff game and fallback game is stellar. And when I'm done, I'm done. There's like no coming
not an act of Congress
back.
It's not. It is not Congress.
Because it's like, now I feel like you're impeding on my survival.
Right.
So I'm like, you got to go. Mm-mm. Right. So them scissors are big and they are sharp.
Yeah, that's the thing that my friends will all tell you about me. Mm-hmm. They call me Helen Keller, because once I cut you off, I don't see
or hear.
I don't hear you. I don't know. I never met you. Like, like, that is me. I am her. Like, my cutoff game.
And a lot of people just don't have that. They don't have that skill, man. They think they have to keep certain people in their lives forever, no matter what. And I don't have that. I feel like life is short. Life is a journey. I want to live. I want to love. I want to laugh. I want to meet people. I want to go on adventures. So I'm not going to drag something to my ankle that made me feel bad, that makes me feel bad, that I have bad memories with, compounded bad memories or bad moods or nasty dispositions. I'm not dragging you with me on this journey. Life is too beautiful. It is too much to do. And I'm like, I'm not for what? Drag you with me for what? Take that to somebody else. I'm not doing it. I don't care how much DNA. I don't care how much DNA we share. I'm not doing it. If you make me feel bad, I'm not doing it. I can't.
I said when I finally learned to stand up to my parents, nobody stood a chance after that.
Right.
Nobody stood a chance after that. I will cut your ass off and won't think twice about it and won't even be upset about it. Mm-hmm. I won't mention you at all. I will act like I've never heard of you.
Big. What's up, Louis Kanye? Steve, what you doing? Kevin Samuels Ghost. What Haran talk about? Hit that like and subscribe for me, gentlemen. Don't forget you can support the show with a Cash App or a Super Chat. All this costs money. Haran says, I had an ex I used to keep around because the intensity of our relationship inspired a lot of music creativity. Her, the sex, and toxicity was my muse.
Okay, and I wanna conflate Haran's comment with Don's last comment. Do you see Don's last comment?
Toxic behavior can be addictive, very addictive.
I've been saying this about men for years. I feel like a lot of men crave toxic relationships, sexual relationships.
Is that where it comes from? Is that where the saying comes from? Like sex with crazy women is better.
Yeah.
They always say that. We didn't say that. Men say that.
It's them. It's like men need some level of toxicity in order to feel alive. And I'm going to tell you how I know that. When I started to become less toxic, men didn't know what to do with that. When I started dating and I noticed they would try to do shit to make me toxic.
Kevin is co-signing.
Yeah, they would try to do things to try to make me snap and go off just so that they can feel alive.
Don is co-signing. Is co-signing.
They get bored. Exactly. Yep.
Okay. All right, fellas. All right, gentlemen.
So that's why when men say, "Oh, I want his peace," you're fucking lying. You're lying. If a woman
his peace, these motherfuckers don't want peace. They want chaos and pussy.
They want chaos and pussy. Exactly. You don't want peace. That's why I don't listen to people. I don't listen to people.
They want chaos and pussy, honey. That's a good night for a man. Little chaos, a little pussy.
Right.
Sometimes more of the other. One or more of the other.
Miss Ruth has a question too.
Oh, yummy. We like questions on the blog. Miss Ruth says, what if the ex gave you the best sex you ever had and it ruins you with anyone else? You don't even want to go through disappointing sex till you find that great sex again. So that was actually in the research that I did. Thank you for that question, Miss Ruth. Great question, because in the research that I did, they also mentioned the reason why people go back to sex with the ex is because they feel no one's going to be as good as this right here. No one can top this right here. And it's scary to go out there and think I'm gonna shave, I'm gonna get cute, I'm gonna get matching lingerie, I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna be his superstar, and it's gonna be like wah wah wah. Yeah. So have we gone back to sex with the ex because we think it's not gonna get better than this, man?
I went back because it didn't get better, and I went back until it got better.
Don is stupid.
They don't want peace. Lying ass mother. Y'all don't want no damn peace. Y'all need somebody to smash a tire.
Lily, topic, please. These men don't want peace. That's going to be our next topic.
That's a really good topic.
That's going to be our next topic. Men don't want peace. Be his chaos, ladies.
These things are adding up. We got some things going on. They're adding up here.
We got some juicy topics. You got some juicy topics coming for you. Facts over feelings says maybe young men, grown men that make money ain't got time for that drama. Well, facts over feelings. There's some men I know personally in the chat that may challenge that because they're making money.
Right. And I was gonna ask if it's a maturity level. Is it a maturity thing? Is it a personality thing? It's like, but we'll get into that on the show. I don't want to get into that tonight.
Yeah,
but we'll definitely get into that.
because I was about to say when my baby daddy came back, when my daughter was already in her 20s, he had money.
Mm-hmm.
Had his own company and everything. He had money. And you know what I mean? We were well in the age where it's okay. We don't need toxic sex and crazy sex and all of that. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a grown thing. I think men just like excitement. They like exciting women. They like women who I don't know. But I'm not a man, so I digress. I'll let the guys in the chat respond to that. I can't respond to that. I am not a guy. So you guys do that in the chat.
And then Kevin Samuels goes, I'm gonna call Cap. I gotta throw Cap on you, sir. You know, you always hear me say this. You all do not want a lady in the street and a freak in the sheets. You want two different women, one for the streets and one for a home. You do not want the one at home doing the shit that you do with the lady in the streets. You do not want to do the freaky things with Miss Thing, your wife, the one that's kissing your children. Typically, that's how it goes.
You know what, Lily? First of all, thank you for the super chat, Miss Roof. Okay, you fellas, you're going to have to match Miss Roof. We can't have the ladies out super chat you. Thank you, Miss Roof. I appreciate you. She says supporting the block. Appreciate you for the bottom of my whittle cold heart. Lily, yes. Because how many times have we had the conversation up here where many a man has said they don't want their wife doing that whole shit? More than once, more than twice, more than thrice, okay? We've had men up here saying, I don't want my wife doing, okay? And some of our panelists, I don't want my wife doing what them hoes do because then I'm going to look at her differently. I don't want my wife doing that because then she got to kiss my kids after we done in the bedroom. So you don't want a freak in the sheets and a lady in the street because you're going to look at your wife differently. This is y'all talking, not us.
And not just talking, I would go as far as to say that I've experienced that in my long-term monogamous relationships, because I am that girl. Like, I'm the lady in the streets and the freak in the sheets. And then I would want to do things to please my man. I'm willing to go the distance. And they're like, oh, whoa. And I'm like, well, hold on. Like, you said you used to get down like this and used to do this and da-da-da-da. Like, so, and you enjoyed it. So what's up? You know,
that's a great point, because it's true. Like, if you get too freaky with a guy, it makes him nervous, right? And I know a lot of guys will be like, no, it don't make me nervous. But again, this is coming from men, not from us. We've had men up here saying they don't like when their woman, right, is too freaky, but they like sleeping with that other chick that's the freak, but they don't want the woman in their home being that way. Like No Saint, I wish No Saint was up here, because remember, he told the story that his wife wanted to get fisted. I'm not snitching. He said it up here on the panel, correct? No Saint said that. But he said he couldn't bring himself to do it because that's his wife. And I was like, oh, you better do it, because if she requested that, she's thinking about it. And you don't want someone who's thinking about it, because they're going to get it done somewhere.
You're right about that.
Like, humans are that way. We have to like scratch that itch. And if you're not going to comply.
Yes. It's so true. It's so true. It is very true.
Like, thank you for this super chat, Don LeVon.
You definitely want to scratch that itch if your husband or wife wants it. But it's like the wife will tend to go along with the husband's fantasies and things like that, but the husband doesn't tend to do the same because they don't want to do those things with their wife or the mother of their children.
But you know what the cue should be, Lily? You know what the cue should be? The cue, like, read the room, fellas. The cue should be that this is your wife and she shares children with you, and she knows that you're going to hug the children tomorrow, and she still wants you to fist her. That should be your cue. Like, you should follow her lead. She's not looking at you like, oh, he's going to kiss my kids tomorrow after he fisted my ass. She's not looking at you like that. Obviously, she wants to have these adventures with you, and the kids are a separate entity entirely. So it's stupid, but it's like the whore Madonna complex that we talk about often, where it's like men are conditioned not to see their women be whores or a certain way. And your wife is like, I don't give a damn. I want to be your hoe. It's like the joke I said the other day. I want to be one man sex worker.
Right. Exactly.
That is most women, gentlemen.
Right.
That is most women. Women want to be your personal sex worker.
Right. Exactly.
Just yours.
Women are freaky.
So, right. So it's like, Kevin Samuels goes different strokes for different folks, I guess. Don Levon said, I want a lady and freak to be the same person. I mean, it's the smartest way to go. Facts Over Feelings said, I'm doing it all. Now you're doing it all?
Was it?
Didn't you say it earlier?
We got to pull up your receipts.
Not the receipts.
Yeah, we got to pull up your receipts, sir. No, I think he's been consistent.
I thought he said, oh, no. He was talking about the maturity thing, about men wanting a crazy woman. He said it's a maturity thing.
Yeah, he's been consistent with his views.
He pulled up his receipts. Don says, I want my wife to be able to be a housewife and a...
Hey, Bonnie and Clyde.
Not a bank robber. Okay. Facts. So if it said, nah, that wasn't me. Now you were talking about something else, about men wanting the crazy chicks. He's like, don't play with me. I'm a little drunk off the Crown Apple.
Right.
House of Matrix, thank you for the super chat. Says, hey, Jen, I miss the block. I'm currently in Kuwait, so it's hard to catch a show. Keep grinding, Jen. Oh my gosh, salute, sir. Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you for your service if that's what you're there doing. I don't know any other reason to be in Kuwait.
So right. Why are you in Kuwait? Why are you in Kuwait? Let us know.
Definitely not a vacation spot.
Right. Marquise says, I want to get a freaky wife. I'm freaky. You guys, listen.
You guys, that's what y'all want.
Right. Y'all say that. Yeah. And then I hear, when we get up here with the husbands in the long-term relationship, guys, it's a different song they singing.
Yeah. That's one of them that they think they want and they like the idea of. And the other thing they think they want and they like the idea of is like these celebrity women. Right. But you get with a celebrity woman, do you understand the shit that comes with that? And they get it and they realize, oh, I can't handle this. Like, and I'm like micro, like celebrity, popular. And men, they have a hard time.
All you got to do is be popular on social media nowadays for men to have meltdowns.
They will have a whole meltdown. It's like you'll be living your life, going about your day, and you get a text like, "What's this? Why is he in the comments saying blah blah blah?" Oh, I don't know this man. I've never met this man in my life. Like, but it's a lot of little things that come with being with a popular woman or celebrity woman or a wealthy woman that is not as attractive as you may think it is. You have to be an extremely secure man.
Oh, he's in the military in Kuwait watching On the Block with Jen. Oh, darling.
Tell the guys hello.
Tell the fellas we say hello. Tell them On the Block with Jen says salute. Thank you for your service. Good to see you. Stay safe, stay warm, stay good, stay fed, okay? Stay vigilant.
Yes, and hopefully we are providing some good, fun entertainment.
Yeah, I tell the fellas, I say, hey.
Right.
You know what's funny? That's always been one of my... You know what's funny? That's always been one of my... it's on my bucket list to go and entertain the troops.
You too? I've always...
It's on my bucket list. I don't know if it's to do comedy, to show up, say hi, but I'm telling you, it's on the bucket list to go overseas and entertain the troops and be like, what's up? Yeah, I got the outfit in my mind and everything already.
Oh, I had the outfit too. Look
like
it'll be shorts.
It'll happen. It'll happen. If we put it, it'll happen. I got to get out there with the fellas. Salute to you, sir.
Down
Haran
to
DeMarco, thank you for the super chat. Haran says, I've been riding heavy again, and I noticed the hunger I had during my gigging days is returning. I'm about to have another run once I hit the stage again. I'm pro ho. Well, Haran has always said that. Haran has always said he's pro ho. He don't have a problem with the quote unquote
and
hoes,
we're pro ho.
right?
We're pro ho on this
Yes,
block.
we are.
We love the hoes.
Right. We don't love them.
I feel like they have their place in the world, and
yes. Facts over feelings says if you don't keep the relationship lit, she will find it somewhere else. And this is what I was talking about ayer. This is what I was talking about yesterday, where it's like you get with a guy, and if he's boring, right, you're going to find excitement elsewhere because men love the chaos and crazy women and blah, blah. But women, we also love someone who's going to facilitate, right, us to be all we can be. Right? Don't we look for that? We look for a man who's going to facilitate, accept, appreciate, and celebrate all that we can be. And you will have the best mama jamma on your arm you ever could have wished for. And men don't realize that. What they do is they marry into the Madonna whore complex. And we've seen the women are very self-righteous, and you shouldn't fuck around, and you got to cook and clean, you got to be this type of wife, blah blah. And I was like, let me slide in his DMs, bitch.
Right.
Let me slide in his DMs, bitch, with all that stuff you're talking about. And I'm only talking about the women that act self-righteous, okay? Because a lot of women get married and then they try to weaponize like, this is how you gotta be to keep a man. Let me slide in his DMs, bitch. What do you think is gonna happen?
Derek Jackson's wife?
Yes.
She's a perfect example.
Yes.
I mean, we got a million examples.
We got a lot of examples. We've had some examples up here, but they're always talking about, this is what men want. Men want a woman. You gotta be his piece, and you gotta, and he doesn't like a woman that. I was like, okay, bitch, you keep thinking that humans are gonna human. We're all animals. We're all animals. We're all sexual. That is humans. That is how human beings are. So you better be everything that you can be, and the right man, a smart man, right, will get with that and rock with that. But all that other like Derek Jackson's wife, he humiliated her.
Yes.
Humiliated her with all that Jesus and God talk. Yeah, right? They always have these women looking stupid eventually.
Yep.
And it's like all that God talk and may God strike down whoever come between us. It was your man, honey. Your man was the one coming between y'all.
Right. But
it was your husband.
This goes back to what we always talking about on here. Most humans are not built to be monogamous. And we keep bumping our head by trying to put a triangle into a square hole. Like, it's just not going to work. It's just not
and Miss Polly comes right on time when we talk about monogamy.
Thank you, Miss Polly.
How are you, doll? Right when we're talking about most humans are meant for monogamy, Miss Polly pops up on the chat. She heard the mating call.
Is I right or is I lying, Miss Polly? Is I right or is I lying?
She heard the mating call.
And then House of Matrix, we're going to answer your question this upcoming week about. He's asking he says it's true, men like chaos, but he wants to know why. We will answer that question because we're making a whole topic out of it.
Yeah. I mean, we could give him a little bit because the same people watching tonight are, they may not be watching next week, and we could repeat shit.
Right.
Actually, I would like, let's put the guys in the hot seat, or the guys that said that they like the chaos. I'd like to hear from them, gentlemen. Gentlemen, throw it in the chat. Why is it that you prefer the chaos? Those of you who will admit that you enjoy the chaos. I would say, I'm not a guy, but I would say that it's just more exciting, and men are always about the hunt and the challenge, right? And you can't control a woman that's wild. We're wild things. It's exciting, right? So what's going to be more exciting? A domesticated lion, or a lion that you got to go out there and hunt? What's going to get your heart pumping? Seeing a lion in a zoo pace back and forth, or the lion that you got to go out there and hunt. And I am anti-hunting lions. I'm just using it as an example. What's more exciting to you, a day at the zoo or a safari?
And see,
which one is going to get your heart pumping? Wild women, chaotic women, or the safari?
Right. But the thing is, I keep saying they want both. See, they want the one that's safe because she's safe. She represents stability and, all of that good stuff, right? And then the one that's wild, there's a piece of them that wants to tame her. But if they were to tame her, they would no longer want her.
Ain't that the motherfucking truth? Miss Polly says most monogamous folks violate monogamy all the time. They sure the fuck do. They sure the fuck do. Oh, House of Matrix says, I like crazy women because they are spontaneous.
Okay.
Yes, we are. We like jump on this call. Let's go, let's go, let's go. E Scrapple says, you know what word I hear when someone says they are in a relationship? Quicksand. Oh, that shit's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Who wrote that? Oh my God.
E Scrapple.
That is so funny.
No, but sometimes I feel that way too. I'm like, oh my God, good luck.
I'd be like, oh, okay.
I'd be like, okay, good luck.
Right. Yeah. Especially when they're young and they get married. I'm like, oh wow.
Haran DeMarco, thank you for the super chat. Haran is shouting out his album. He says, by the way, shameless plug. My album dropped on Friday. Special thanks to my angels on the panel. Link below. Check that album out for Haran DeMarco, please. The link is there. Click it, click it, click it. Also, he wants feedback on that, so do not be shy or afraid to give feedback. That is how we get better, or that is how we know, we're doing shit that we're supposed to be doing and other people dig. Lily just dropped her link. Please follow that link and follow Lily real quick and come back real quick. It only takes a couple seconds to click on Haran's album and save it. And it only takes a couple seconds to click on Lily's link, hit subscribe, come right back. We'll still be here for you. Okay.
And we need some more of you all to explain why you like Toxic Cooch.
I would like to hear what's that. Okay, I like House of Matrix said because they're spontaneous.
Okay.
Thank you, NYA. Thank you.
Somebody said adrenaline. I think it was Don.
Don said, exactly. That's why men hunt. Adrenaline. Okay.
Yeah, I do think so. I do think Kevin Samuels Ghost, I do think there's a correlation between being crazy and freaky. Maybe because less inhibited, like more free in all ways, not just sexually, but just as a person, more free and not as like, oh my God, they're gonna think, don't give a fuck what you think, nigga.
Right. Get in there.
Right. I want what you want. We want this. We grown.
But we're in the church parking lot. Get in there. Let's speak in tongues, baby.
Baby. I had you baptized, speaking in tongues, and in the Holy Land by lunchtime.
Haran DeMarco says, my goal is to unlock the unapologetic passion buried deep in the soul of every woman. That passion cannot come to the forefront without the presence of toxicity. So you're saying you need to give the toxic peen in order to bring out everything she is. You gotta give her the toxic strokes.
Oh no, it's the toxic strokes, but then they play games. I'm telling you, guys do this. They've done this to me. They'll play games because I'm being too peaceful and too level-headed, and they're like, I gotta piss her off and make her pull out a knife or something. Like I need the threat of being.
That's not Lily. That's not a safe game to play with me.
But they still play it. They still play it. Still play it.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know why.
I'm like, just my anger management certificate is just a piece of paper.
Right.
I finished the course though, but I'm just saying, it's a piece of paper.
And see, that's what with me, I be thinking people be letting this smile fool them. And I be trying to tell them, don't do that. It's not safe.
Haran said yes. Haran said yes. You got to give her the toxic stroke to bring all that out.
But you play games too.
Thank you, Yank Rob. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. I love me some The Star Report. That's my dude.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Star is my dude. Don Levon says he likes taking risks.
Define games? Mind games.
House of Matrix said he just followed you, Lily.
Oh, I thank you, everyone who just followed and who have followed. Definitely appreciate that. Yeah, little games that.
What games they playing? Because I need to know. I need to know because I've been out the dating game for a while. Let me know what games I need to look out for.
They get to know you and they try to find little triggers of things that they know piss you off, or they'll try to make you jealous, which that don't work with me. That don't work with me. But they'll do it though. And I'm like, oh, you must not know that doesn't work with me. Like that'll get you fucked up or just get you left behind. That's all that's gonna do. Yeah. But they'll play little games to try to egg you to get angry.
Right? You have to be careful with that though, with a woman who has options though, because then she may just look at you like, this motherfucker's playing games. I ain't got time for these games. You gotta be careful.
But I'm that girl. That's why I'd be like, I'm that girl. Like, I'm not gonna play the game with you. I'm going to leave because I'm busy. Okay. I'm busy. I don't have time. Like, I really don't have time to do this.
Okay.
So I just roll out. It's not fun for me.
Okay.
Because this is the thing. I understand it. I think there's a piece of me that understand it because I am a person who needs spontaneity and chaos and stuff like that. But mine has to be compartmentalized in a healthy way or a controlled way, controlled chaos, right? But for a man, I feel like that's their form of controlled chaos is through their woman.
Interesting.
Mine looks more like me hopping off the stream and going to JFK and going to London with, no warning, no nothing, like that's mine. Mine looks more like that. It's, but I don't like to involve other people into my stuff. Like, like I don't need to piss no one off to feel alive. But I feel like with a lot of men, that's their go-to. It's like the woman that's closest to them. They just kind of get something off of seeing the passion of her being angry or being jealous or whatever.
Is that true, guys? Is that true? But here's the thing, right? Men will do that and then they pretend like, oh, why you being jealous about such and such? Why blah, blah, blah.
It's a game.
It's a game. See, that's not good, Lily.
And has anyone called me a liar yet? Have any of you called me a liar?
The reason why it's not good is because like women can do. Oh my God, fellas, you better learn women and learn your women specifically. But women, like we play games that you don't even know we're playing.
Now that's the other thing. You will never win. You will never win playing games with a woman like us.
So you have to be careful. Like the games are cute, gets the blood flowing, right? It makes for great sex, but you have to be strategic.
Are you seeing these? Because they're all saying I'm right. Like they all like this is. I want to be wrong.
Don is capping. First he said, if my woman don't threaten to kill me at least once a week, then I don't want her. And then he said control chaos. And then Don Levon said, I don't play those games.
But look at Haran. He's that's a whole contradiction in that statement. I don't play games per se. Yet I will find your buttons that trigger the primal need to fuck. It's like finding the mental version of a clip. But that is part of playing games because that primal is that passion, that anger, and they like that makeup sex and all of that. They need that whole roller coaster and
I just need a good like Netflix and chill a Game of Thrones. I don't need all that.
Right.
I don't need them games. Like let's just watch a couple of seasons of Game of Thrones and I'm well oiled, baby. Right. Like don't play games with me because that may backfire. Those games can backfire, because what women will do is be like, okay, you don't know how to respect me? Well, guess what? I got 5 motherfuckers in my phone right now that will worship the fucking ground I walk on. You play games with me if you fucking want to. Now, if you're polyamorous, then that doesn't matter who else she's fucking. But you got to be careful. Be careful with the games, fellas. Be careful with the games, because women can be very, very stealth and vindictive.
And I'm her. You're not going to win.
So be very, very careful with those games. Make them playful. Do it when you're up in her and you're in a controlled environment. You can say little things while you're up in her, stroking. And this is game. I'm get this free game for y'all. Okay. Make sure it's a controlled environment. Say something cute. Be like, yeah, we were at that party. I bet you seen them chicks looking at me while you're stroking her. Like, be strategic. Be creative with it. Don't just start talking shit about other women around her, because it can backfire. You don't know what her triggers are, and you don't know what her history is.
Right.
So, vaya con Dios. Pongo. Be careful. Play them games with me if you want.
Don't do it with me. I'm telling you, I'm not her. I'm not that girl. I got too many options.
I'm just saying. You see, I got serious right there. Now, Wash says, because that toxic poom poom hit different. That poom poom, you know, you're not supposed to be in.
I'm gonna need y'all to cam up on this night when we really break all the psychology between, because we got to do some research on this show.
Yeah, this is a research show. Like Star does that on the Star Report. There's a little research show. We'll give you the real deal when we do the Don't Be His Piece show. And hopefully you guys will come up and talk your shit.
But I do appreciate their honesty tonight. I definitely do.
Oh, we love it. Each one teach one.
Yes. That's what I love about our chat, and the people who come up as well. They put it out there and they own it. And I'm here for it.
Yeah. Georgie Porgy, how are you, darling? George says, what about the shit test women do to men? Isn't that playing games too? What shit test?
I don't know the test that he's talking about, but women play games as well. But the thing is, women are way better at playing them. That's why you don't want to start playing games with women, because they're going to play them back and they're going to win. Like,
I think women are in the habit of testing men, but it's a different type of test. I think men test women because they like the excitement of seeing her jealous or mad. I mean, Neo wrote a song about it. When you're mad, you're so sexy. You know what I mean? He did a whole song about it. Guys like that. But I think women, when we test men, is to see what you're made of, right? So we'll poke at you and we'll see how you deal, you know what I mean, with different situations, which is a different poking that men do, right? Because they want to see you riled up. But I think women test men in a different way because they want to see what you're made of. I want to see what you're made of. So I'm going to poke at you a little bit just to see, right? What leaks.
I came home with these shorts that a designer gave me. And my ex was like, I said, look what Andrea gave me. He was like, oh, wow. He says, that was really sweet of her to give you a pair of denim underwear that you're wearing in the house. Tell her thank you.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's some hot shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we try them like that. Like, that's a, you know.
Well, Don, honesty can get you too. I mean, honesty is great, but honesty can get you too. Because it's like, oh, you may divulge too much. And the woman may be like, I'll pass.
I'm good.
So you got to be careful. East Scrabble said, Jen, no man worried about your 5 guys. Yeah, okay. If a man, it sounds good. It sounds tough. It sounds tough, okay? And then you get with a guy, he can't even take that someone's throwing a heart and saying, I love you in your comments.
Right.
Sounds tough. Don says, a man will not ever have more game than a woman, so don't want none, don't be none. Thank you so much for the super chat, Carlos Toscano. How are you, hermano? Thank you for this super chat.
Exactly.
Don Levon says 80% of what a woman says or does is to see what you will say or do. That's true.
Right.
That's great. We test. Right. That's the woman game. We test men differently. We want to see what you made of. Really.
Right. Like I don't want to be with a pushover. So I need you to stand up to me and be like, nah, that's not what we doing today. I'm like,
right.
What are we doing?
What are we? Lily, what are we doing? Whatever you say.
Whatever you say, baby. That is so true.
Look at Steve said, I'll be all in my feels about you. It's true. Y'all talk a good one. Y'all be talking real tough to you in the situation, and she ride that thing just right, and then you see her getting dressed and being sexy, going to brunch, and you're like, where you going?
Hello.
Where you going with that outfit? Oh, I'm just going
Right.
to brunch with the girls. No.
Oh, yeah, not with that. I would never forget my mom did. I told you my mother got a body like boom, boom, bam, and she bought this little tiny dress. This is when I was real young, and she came out that room. My dad was like, "Did you lose your mind? Like what you think you went into?" I'm confused. Like you know, and yeah. Needless to say, she didn't get out the house with that.
Oh, check this little tidbit. It says today's society has a way of glamorizing sex, and sadly, the media strongly promotes infidelity and lack of morals to the public so often that it makes it easier to do things like this because you really won't be judged. The media has practically stolen away everyone's conscience.
Hookup culture is very big right now. Yeah, this is a big hookup culture. And I'm looking like, this is hookup culture is something that you would expect with younger people, but people our age are living second childhoods. I'm seeing a lot of people.
Oh, hell
age,
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people our age with Peter Pan syndrome. And I feel like there's a lot of Peter Pan syndrome going around more than ever. So yeah, and I feel like media does play a role in it. I mean, just look at what's accessible to us now versus 20 years ago. And just in regular commercials, regular things that come on social media, TV, all of those things. Yeah, I can see that.
Haran is retarded. Haran said if she decides to leave in that dress, just jungle fuck her ass until she's breathless. Is that before or after she comes back?
Because I might not be going nowhere.
Haran, before she leaves or when she comes back?
Actually, my ex did it before I left.
Really? Did you leave after? Were you like, okay,
I did. He fucked that shit out of me that day too. He came in. I was just finished getting ready, and he was like, "What?" I was. he was like, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm about to go meet up with my homegirl." He said, "Tell her you." He said, "Text her right now so you be 30 minutes late."
Oh. Check the private chat, Lily. So you left after.
I made it out with the dress on. Yeah.
Okay, but you made it out, but you was thinking about him the whole time.
Oh yeah, because he did this thing that it was spontaneous. It wasn't because he just happened to come by as I just got finished getting dressed. So I wasn't thinking I was getting no dick that day or in that moment. And it was the
smart man.
He did it.
Carlos, doing good. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to stop by and spread some love. Thank you. We appreciate the love. We really do, especially on Sexy Saturday. I see all these new people in the room. Hit that like and subscribe for me, okay? Bye, miss. We will appreciate that. If you're here for the first time, hi. Where you been?
Kevin Samuels Ghost. He said there are so many options in dating apps. Yeah, that's the other thing. We didn't have all of these dating apps.
I know. I feel like I'm the last person on the planet that's never been on a dating app.
I've never been on one.
You've never been on one?
Never in my life. Never one time. Nope.
Lily. Like it's like I have never. It's almost like the game. Have you ever? Have you never ever? I've never been on a dating app. It didn't compute in my mind.
Yeah.
The need for it never computed in my mind. Where I'm like, are you kidding me? I have enough people to sift through in daily life. Why would I make yet another social media account? Because that's what it is.
It's another social media account. Exactly.
Another password. I have to maintain it. I have to put pictures up, and then I have to reject men there as well.
I'm not interested. No.
And so it's like it doesn't make sense.
I get enough playing on the streets. I don't. you know, so I'm not trying to be funny, but that's my reality. So I
Right.
don't, why would I? No, I'm good. I'm already overwhelmed most of the time anyway. So I'm good. I'm really good. Trust.
Don said he's never used a dating app. Yeah, I just did it. I'd have it. And listen, no shame to you if you're on a dating app and that's how you
Oh,
get
yeah.
down and that's how you get asked, whatever. More power to you. Everybody uses whatever tools they see
Yeah.
fit. I'm just saying for my life, Lily, other people, I just did it. It seemed like a headache to me. And it's bad enough. It's like you're going through life. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. And then I'm gonna be on some app swiping. It's the same shit as being out on the street or in a
It
lounge or at a
is.
bar, at a party, or at work, or
Yeah.
online, or on Facebook, or on Instagram. It's the same
Same thing.
exact shit.
Yeah. It's the
It's the
same thing.
same thing. Why would I add another one so I could be swiping?
And from everyone that I've talked to, now I've known a couple of people that actually get married on them. But I will say paid apps versus free apps is completely different. Free apps are hookup apps, period, point blank. So if you're going to a free app looking for your forever, like that's like going to McDonald's looking for a veggie burger. It's just not gonna happen, boo. Right? It's just not. But people do get married on the other ones. And I feel like the same as you. I feel like it's the same equivalent to being on the street. I mean, you have the same odds. Like it's a numbers game, right? So out of this many men that's going to approach you, the same percentage of men is going to be trash versus not. So but my grandma, that's where she found her love. It was an elder app. It was an elder app. I put
They
on.
have an app for elders.
I never told you the story.
You did, but I didn't know it was via app.
Yes, it's called Our Time. And I put her on there, and grandma, because she's my grandma fine. She don't look like her age at all. Like she's 85, but she looks like she's about 65. And very vibrant, very with it, because she's been around young people. She's been working with young people forever. She didn't retire until she was 81. So she's very youthful. And them men was coming after her. Oh my God. Because it was like a 65 and up app. So like all the 60 somethings were coming after her. And she was just like, no, because she felt like, in which I'm glad that she thought like this, like they just want her money probably. Like they're probably looking at her as like a money thing. So yeah, she was like, no, I want a guy like my age who's already established, got their own shit. I don't want his shit. He don't want my shit. And she felt that. And that guy treats her so good. She went down there to go visit him for 2 weeks at the beginning of the pandemic, and she hasn't been back home since she left.
Oh, damn.
Oh, he remodeled the entire house for her.
I'm so happy for her. But see, that goes back to, before we wrap, that goes back to what I said, how if you listen to these manosphere clowns and all these people who know they have the crystal ball on your future. I always say in every age bracket, you will always find someone who's looking for love and looking for a relationship. I don't care if it's 50, 60, 70, 80, or 90. I've seen people get married in their 90s.
Yep.
So you would be stupid to listen to any of these clowns tell you, after you 45, you're going to be alone. Well, when you get to 55, you're going to be, there's always going to, if you have a good personality, just personality alone. Okay?
Yep.
Because we've seen people in their 20s and 30s and have nasty fucking dispositions. Okay? But if you have a good personality at any age, someone's going to want to be with you, be around you. They're going to want to have sex with you at every single age, long as you're a pleasant person to be around.
Yes.
Everybody wants to be around pleasant, happy people.
Yeah. It's just that simple. That makes you hot and sexy.
What's up, Black Maverick? Good to see you, sir.
Because you're right. Because the physical looks are going to change and they're going to, quote unquote, fade. But that inner beauty doesn't go anywhere. Very
true. And we've seen it, like your grandma. Haran says, I used to work for Black Panda and Mi Gente, the original dating app. A lot of y'all scored thanks to me and my fellow engineers. Yes, I've been on dating apps, cleaned up on them.
All the new people, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content, because we're going to be bringing the heat. We got a lot coming up.
We
Jen
do.
and we discussed some good things, and we got some treats for you all. Oh my God.
We got a master plan. A couple, right, Lily?
A couple, yeah. Oh yeah, and if you're really feeling frisky, Send your wives over to see us. We got something to sit our home with.
We got some coming up for the wives too. For all you guys that want the freak in the sheets, we got something coming up.
Right. Spice it up for you.
Thank you for the last super chat of the night. Kevin Samuels says, glad your mom found love, Lily.
Oh, thank you. I am too. Every time I talk to her, she sounds like a teenager.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Don says his brother met his wife on a dating app.
Yeah.
Because some people, hey, it's for some people, it's not for me.
Yeah, I've met people who got married. So whether the marriage, I mean, and the I guess rate of how long the marriage lasts, it's just like meeting people on the street. It's the same odds. It's the same thing. So the numbers game, you know, out of this many men who approach you, it's only going to be a small sector that's going to be worth actually dating. So
Don says, by the way, if I was playing games with a woman, I'll be doing a hell of a better job at that I'm doing now. Right now, I'm being corny. You're being corny?
Cool. Corny is cool.
Do you know that corny is the new cool?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Corny is the new cool, baby.
Yes, it is.
All right, guys. With that said, we are out of here. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for holding us down in the chat. You guys are hilarious. The chat has been really, really showing improving these past couple streams, man. Yes. I don't know. Y'all really been doing your thing the past couple streams. Please stay tuned, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that way you know what's coming up. In April, we have something juicy coming. We are going to do a talent show in April. It's going to be really, really interesting. We're going to have a talent battle on the block. That's going to be very, very entertaining. Thank you so much, Miss Ruth, for coming by, spending a couple hours with us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow Lily, okay? So you can support that way as well. And we will see you guys soon. Lily, any parting words? This was a great stream.
It was. No, I really enjoyed every minute. And thank you all for coming by. We enjoyed what you all input. You all are part of the show, for real. Like, you all are like honorary co-hosts. So we really appreciate you. So we'll see you next time.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.
And we're out.